Welcome to Movie News. Let's get right into it. I'm going to be letting you know what's been going on this past week in film. Let's just get it out of the way. We're going to have to talk about Moviepass. Honestly, I'm tired of talking about Moviepass. I've already done 2 videos talking about Moviepass. And guess what? After the news Moviepass gave this week, my first 2 videos are almost relevant at this point. It's fine. And I'm over it. So since the last time we talked about this, Moviepass has now an official policy for the time being. That is, until they just change it again. Moviepass announced that within the next month, they will be raising the price to a $14.99 a month plan. And this is a raise from the $9.99 plan that they have had for a while now. That, and they pretty much confirmed that you can no longer see blockbuster movies with Moviepass. So right now we're looking at $14.99 a month for very limited movies, no reserved seating, just regular format. The blockbuster movies, no confirmations that they won't raise the price again. Or you have AMC, which is $19.99 a month for pretty much the opposite of all of that. Okay, let's move on. Over the past couple weeks, everyone has been discussing the firing of James Gunn from Guardians of the Galaxy 3 by Disney. This firing was announced after some old tweets of his from several years ago resurfaced, and Disney decided they weren't having it. This week, the majority of the cast from the first 2 Guardians of the Galaxy movies did release a post on their Instagram, pretty much just stating their support for Gunn, hoping that Disney will rehire him. Honestly, I don't expect Disney to do it, but we'll see. Hopefully that is the case. Let's take a look at new movies that are in the process of being filmed right now. J.J. Abrams released on Twitter the first photo from Star Wars Episode 9 and confirmed that they have begun filming this movie. Now, just a few weeks ago, they released the official cast of this movie, so hopefully filming goes well and we get a great Star Wars movie. Another movie that has begun filming this week is Jordan Peele's new movie titled Us. There isn't a whole lot of details about this movie yet other than the cast list, but if you were a fan of Get Out, like most people were, this is going to be a movie you are going to want to keep on your radar. Looking at some pictures we have from movie sets this week, the newest installment in the Terminator franchise released a photo of some of the cast in the first shot we have from this movie. And one photo, which is causing a lot of conversation on the internet right now, is our first look at Tom Hardy playing Al Capone. Tom Hardy looks nearly unrecognizable in this picture, but you're definitely going to want to see this when it comes out. The movie is titled Fonzo and it'll be coming out next year. This has been a big week for Rebecca Ferguson. If you're unaware of her work, you'll know her best right now from the newest Mission Impossible movie that was released last weekend. But this week she was signed on to 2 upcoming additional films. First is going to be a spin-off from the Men in Black series, which honestly, I'm still going over the fact that the crossover with 22 Jump Street Men in Black never happened. All I wanted was to see Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum fight some aliens. She also was announced to star in the new movie Dr. Sleep, which is a sequel to Stephen King's movie and book The Shining. So yeah, I'd say she's having a pretty good week. Okay, let's look through some box office numbers here, shall we? Last week, we saw Mission Impossible open at the #1 spot, which shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. However, I think they're very happy to know that they earned $61 million this past weekend and is the biggest opening for a Mission Impossible movie in this franchise. Some upcoming movies we have opening this weekend. We have Christopher Robin starring Ewan McGregor. We have The Spy Who Dumped Me starring Mila Kunis and Kate McKinnon. And we have The Darkest Mind, which is the latest sci-fi young adult novel turned to movie. Honestly, making a prediction right now, I don't know if either of these are going to top Mission Impossible for top box office. These are 3 very different movies, so either one of them really could be #1, but my money is still that Mission Impossible will take home its second #1 weekend. Another movie I want to talk about is 8th Grade, and it's getting its wide release this weekend. I did a review about this previously, you can check it out on my channel, but I highly recommend seeing this movie. I was able to see it at an independent theater when it had a limited release, but now it's being released nationwide, and everyone needs to see this movie. It's directed by Bo Burnham, and it's the type of movie that you're going to want to give money to so he can continue making movies like this. I'm going to be talking about a segment now of a movie I think we should all watch this week. I had the privilege this past week of rewatching the 2002 live-action Scooby-Doo. I don't remember the last time I saw this movie. It could have been 10 years or so. But this movie was so funny. It is everything about 2002. Last year on the 15th anniversary, James Gunn, who was the screenwriter for this movie, put it out there that this movie was actually intended to be a rated R comedy and not a family movie at all. Somewhere in between filming and script editing, they decided to make it more family friendly. Needless to say, I don't know what that movie was, but there are definitely some tones of it that still exist with this movie. And it's honestly jokes I just didn't really get as a kid, and watching this back, it's really funny. Scenes like Shaggy having his girlfriend named Mary Jane. There's one scene where we see smoke coming out of their van, and we learn it's just Shaggy cooking toast in there. There's just a lot of good humor, and I generally laughed out loud. Now, critics will disagree and say this movie is not good, but don't let them fool you. So put yourself back in 2002 when this cast was an all-star A-list, at least for family and teen romantic comedy. comedies, I guess. We have Freddie Prinze Jr., who is actually married to Sarah Michelle Gellar right now. Apparently they got married right after Scooby-Doo, which is so awesome. But they star together in the movie I Know What You Did Last Summer. Gellar, Prince, and Matthew Lillard actually starred in She's All That Together. Prince and Lillard starred in Summer Catch. And Lillard, as we know from the movie Scream, had a cameo in Scream 2 where Gellar also was in. The only one who didn't really star with anyone else was Linda Cardellini, but you'll recognize her from the hit show Freaks and Geeks. And if you haven't seen this show, please watch this show as well. Add that with Mr. Bean, cameos from Pamela Anderson and Sugar Ray. This movie is so 2002. So that's your homework for the week. Go on Netflix, watch the movie Scooby-Doo, and let me know how much you love it. That's it for this week's news. Hope you enjoy it, and go watch some movies.